Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines, where today we find ourselves back on the main island for a little work that has to be done over here. Now I know that we started on the tourist area last time and I'm very keen to continue with it. I really like how we started it out. I made some pretty awesome screenshots of the Ferris wheel at night and it looked pretty cool. But there is one thing that has been bothering me for a while now, and that is this little neighborhood here, Smith Park. Now, as you know, I plop down every single building in this city by hand. I don't zone anything. I just go to find it and I select what type of building I want or from which content creator I want the buildings. And then I place them all down manually one by one. But there are two exceptions to this method in this city. The first one is over here, which is called, jumpy game, which is called Spruce Park. So if you take a look at the zone over here, Spruce Park is a low density eco building style. So take a look at it. These are all these cool looking eco-friendly buildings with lots of gardens and recycled materials used for building the houses and lots of green, no concrete under the houses. That's one of the reasons I really like this. Normally, if you zone a neighborhood like this, it's the bottom part of the house, which is gravel, at least what's in-game gravel. For normal houses, that would be concrete. So what you see here, that brown, that would be all gray. And I really don't, especially if you zone an area, you let it grow in as the game wants, it doesn't really look good. Now this one doesn't look too bad, and the reason because this doesn't look too bad is because it is edge to edge up until the roads that surround it. There aren't really any open areas, but it is a big difference from a neighborhood, say like this, where we put down all the houses ourselves, made sure that they follow the road nicely, you know, lots of the same type of houses next to each other, as you would expect in a neighborhood. So yeah, it's quite different, but this one I kind of liked. We did another one of those called Smith Park over here, but this one I really don't like. First of all, there is this weird gap between the main road and the neighborhood, so it's kind of like a standalone thing. It looks like it isn't connected to anything at all, and I really wanted it. I really wanted to change it for a while now, and that is where this comes in place. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to put the time lapse in front or after this segment, or if I'm going to put it in at all. But this is the same type of neighborhood. These are the same types of houses, all the low density eco houses in this neighborhood, except these ones I placed down manually, as I did with everything else in this city, and it looks 100 times better. You would never expect that this area, this neighborhood, is exactly the same houses as this neighborhood. The difference is really staggering. So what we are going to do for today, we are going to demolish this neighborhood completely, and we are going to fill it in the same way that I did over here, manually placing all the low density eco houses. Now we have this weird part in the middle here, which is between the train track and the tram track. I don't really want to add another road coming off the main road over here. There are already enough intersections, so I think this is going to stay forest. Same with this little triangle between the roads, between the rails over here. And yeah, this is gonna go entirely, and I'm going to rebuild it using this technique. Make sure it doesn't leave any gaps between the main road and the neighborhood, and possibly even this little area over here, which we haven't filled in yet. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit of work on the island today. Don't worry, we are also going to continue this part of the city today. I'm thinking maybe we can do a little bit of building behind this part of the strip. I was also thinking maybe we should start with the monorail today. I have this idea of having the monorail start or end here in this corner. Like it ends at the pier, and then instead of following the strip, it goes a little bit more inland and goes through the center of the peninsula and then all the way until maybe to the back of the train station over here. Maybe even back down there one direction. So we're going to see if we can do a little bit of monorail work, a little bit of peninsula work today, and we're going to start over here on the island. So Smith Park, it has been fun, but you are going to go today and you're going to be replaced with something else. So let's go. Doesn't that look so much better than it used to be? I really like how this little neighborhood looks now. It's much better than what it was before. We're still using the same houses, all these low density eco buildings, except for a couple of mid-rises along the edge. I added in a few of those to give it some height, to, you know, make it connect a little bit more with the rest of the city. Oh, jumpy game. I did the same thing on this side. Added a few mid-rises. You know, to connect it a little bit more to what we have going already over here. Also, I continued it all the way to the canal on this side, so this entire spot is now filled in. Even added a few with a little bit more room between them on this side of the rail, and these all have garbage issues at the moment. So let's see, processing state is good. It is green. So there are 2 recycling centers over here, so why aren't you getting your garbage collected? I wonder. There is a garbage truck driving there. But he's going back to the facility. Anyway, I'll look into that later. But for now, as I was saying, this part of the island is now completely filled in. Everything is done, I think. Except for this little area and of course this little area here, we are almost done with the island. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I'm even considering doing the same thing over here. Despite the fact that I actually like this little neighborhood because there are no weird openings in between. So I might change it, I might not, I'll have to think about it. But yeah, really happy with this. So next project. Next project is going to be over here, and I think what we're going to do is we are going to start with the monorail. Now we already have the metro network underneath here, so I don't want to create a monorail network that follows the exact same path as the metro. So what I'm thinking of doing is, like I said, start point here, end point maybe here, and then just in between a little bit. I'm not sure yet. We'll probably change it whenever we are building in that area. But yeah, we're going to start with monorail. We're going to start over here and build out this section of the peninsula a little bit. So this is where the golf course is going to be, in between the rail and the highway over here. I'm not sure if that's big enough. It might be, it might not be. Also, I'm not really sure how we should access that. Maybe it's a road next to the highway over here, with the entrance here somewhere. Yeah, that could be cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to start on that today, but I'm definitely going to start building in this little area a little bit more. And yeah, we're going to start with our monorail. Alright, and this is it. Unfortunately, no time lapse of this build because somebody forgot to turn on the recording. But yeah, now that it's done, I will give you a quick tour around. So alongside this monorail station, I decided to put one of these skyscrapers, and this one looked pretty cool, so I put that one down. I thought probably in an area like this where there is a lot of public transport coming together, there would be a lot of office buildings, maybe even another hotel, stuff like that. Then over here we have, oh, it's a little bit tight with all these tall buildings. Over here we have a little bit of a residential neighborhood with these beautiful San Francisco apartments that I found on the workshop. A couple more condos. I added some services, some schools, some high schools, some elementary school. And then over here we have a row of condos, pretty tall buildings. I figured this part of town would be prime real estate, especially being so close to the pier, being so close to, you know, all these big offices, being close to public transport options, also being close to the highway. So yeah, project developers would probably buy this land, build very tall condo buildings on it, you know, close to the beach. This is not how the rest of the peninsula is going to look. Most of the peninsula is going to be only one row of tall buildings alongside the strip, and then medium to low density behind that. So this is a little bit of a downtown area with some more tall buildings, some more offices and stuff like that. That is not something that this entire area is going to look. There will also be a little bit of a downtown area over here. Thinking maybe another pedestrian area over here with some shops would be nice. But other than that, most of the buildings behind the first row would be low density to medium density buildings. Probably a lot like these neighborhoods, which I really like now that I'm finished with it. They take a lot of time to build. This alone took me probably an hour and a half, but it's really, really worth it now that I'm looking at it like this. Anyway, I also decided that we needed another large building, something like a football stadium. But I already placed down the football stadium and I only have one. So I decided to go for the basketball arena. There are a couple more, but you know, I don't think American football would be played in this city, at least not to this scale. Same goes for baseball. This one we could play somewhere, but I don't think it would be, you know, in the middle of the city. It would probably be somewhere along the edge, maybe even over here next to the university or something. And then the aquatic center, of course, we already placed down. So yeah, that is why the basketball arena is here. It cost us 3,200 a week. We lost the first match as well. So I also put in probably way too much unique buildings again. So these all cost money, 560, 960, 640, 880. So our money is still going up. I made the mistake of plopping these down from the menu. No, not these. I made the mistake of plopping a couple of houses down from the menu, and they cost like $500,000. So I plopped down 2 and then my money was gone. So, but we are making money. As you can see, we're plus 36,000. It fluctuates, but yeah, it is still going up. Now, for the next part of this video, I was looking around the city and I noticed, I already solved it, I noticed there was an incredible traffic jam from people trying to get off the highway over here all the way back down onto this intersection. And there's still some weird behavior going on now that I'm looking at it. So don't lane switch, please. Use your head a little bit more, please. And then people are stopping over here. Why are you stopping over here? Why are you doing that? Is it something with the speed? 80, 80, 80, 80? No. You can just continue on. Maybe turn those off. Weird. Same thing over here, by the way. Oh. Now, why would you do that? Right, anyway, it's not that busy anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But I was looking around, and traffic is at 66%, and now it's backing up again over here. Great. So yeah, my aim is always for 80 or above. Everything above 70 is acceptable, but 66, 67, that is not acceptable. So, looking around the city, I noticed that over here, lots of people want to use this main road coming in from the highway and going out to the highway. And this entire part of the island has backed up. So one thing that I think is happening is that everybody who comes from over here and who wants to go down here is taking a shortcut through this area. So what we are going to do first is we're going to paint some districts, and we're going to make sure that only local traffic can use these roads. So let me do that real quick. Excellent. Can probably extend it even further. Now let's keep it on this side of the train track for now. And what we are going to do in Umber Heights is we're going to say, all town, only residents and businesses can use the area for motor vehicles, ban other traffic. So that should help with people taking this as a shortcut. People should be using the main road, which is also pretty backed up over here, but we'll get to that in a minute. The next thing over here is this intersection. which is backing up because people are not going onto the roundabout quickly enough. And one thing we can do about that is we can lower the speed even more on the roundabout. So it's now 30. Makes it a little bit easier for people to get on. Also, I'm going to extend these nodes a little bit more. That one is already really tricky because there is another node in here that's needed to make this tunnel piece. But okay. So next thing we are going to do. This road is not really the best place for this particular road. But what I am going to do is I'm going to allow both of these for straight on. So that we don't longer force everybody into a single lane for going onto the roundabout. People should be using this side more and more. Then I don't want you to switch over here or here or here. Just pick your road when you're coming in. And there it is. This part is now already completely clear, mainly because people are no longer allowed to use this as a shortcut. So this will be only local traffic from now on. Now, of course, they have all started going over here, so we do need to extend this district all the way down to here. So we should see that clear up in a second as well. Let's see how that goes. Also, I'm just noticing right now, this part is a three-lane road. Well, these are only 2 lanes, so let's make the entire thing 3 lanes. That would probably make it a little bit easier for traffic going on the roundabout to merge in, because they are waiting quite a long time. And that's because this traffic coming down here, there's so much of it, they don't get a chance to enter the roundabout. Excellent. And now this one is backing up. Great. Alright, this one almost completely gone. Once this one is gone, this will be easier as well.
2 hours later.
Let's see, how's it going? You know, maybe this should be just a intersection with a timed traffic light. Because the main issue is that there is so much traffic on the roundabout, nobody gets a chance to pull onto the roundabout. This is backing up now. There's traffic over here now. At least with a timed traffic light, everybody gets a chance to go. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a quick save. And then I'm going to take out this roundabout and I'm going to create a timed traffic light. Alright, yeah, that looks much better. Much better. The intersection is a little bit awkward because the highway is technically 2 lanes. So this is an intersection with technically 5 lanes coming into it. Anyway, it looks a little bit janky at the moment because I had to do a little bit of maneuvering to get it to even, you know, to have asphalt everywhere. So traffic light for the highway is pretty far back. But yeah, I think capacity wise, this is much better. So we have a timed traffic light on here. Every side coming in now has 3 lanes, so people can, you know, queue up for the direction they want, dedicated turning lanes in every direction. So traffic from the highway, almost non-existent. Traffic from this side, almost non-existent. This one is busy but doable. This one I noticed backs up sometimes, but not a whole lot. Usually it's gone within 1 or 2 cycles of the traffic light, so that is good. Then what do we have here? This intersection needs some attention as well, I think. But yeah, this part much better already. So, but we're down to 57%. That is probably because now everybody is forced to go over here. And you are still taking slip route down to there. That is so damn annoying, right? Alright. Add this one also to the Old Town policy. Use the major roads that are designed to have heavy traffic on it. Now, this road, unfortunately, I really like it because it allows people to walk in the middle of the road. But unfortunately, even though it's a big road, it's only one lane. So I think we're going to have to upgrade it to an actual 4-lane road. So we have 4-lane, 2-way road with trees. Let's see, how does that look? Yeah, that's not bad. We still have some trees at least. So I'm sorry, you are one of my favorite roads in the game, but you know, single lane traffic is not exactly a good choice for a main road like this. Right, so now we have to go through again and make sure that all the lane arrows are correct again. Very well, and we need to check if our giveaway signs still are correct, which they weren't at a couple of places to begin with, which would probably explain a lot. Excellent, so that is now 2-way roads. So where do we come out from? We go to this roundabout. This is where most of the traffic goes. Over here. So let's see what is happening here. This intersection, yeah, this is going to be timed traffic light as well, so people can get out. And then what I want it to be is I want straight and right on the same, and left to have its own lane. Then I think the same goes for over here. So this will always be a busy road. Not that much that we can do about it.
6.5 hours later.
Alright, I think I figured at least part of it out on this road. So I removed a couple of side streets from this road. I changed the parking lot, which was previously over here, the entrance. I changed it to be on this side. So that's also one less side road to worry about. And then I removed this tunnel that we had because there were like 4 or 5 nodes in this little area really close together, and they were doing all kinds of strange things in the tunnel which I couldn't see or couldn't fix, so it doesn't look like much at the moment. So I'll have to redetail this area a little bit later on, but for now it's sort of functional. We have a timed traffic light on this intersection. I'm strongly debating whether or not to just remove this intersection as well. At least this one coming in over here. But I don't think it would make much difference unless I remove both of these streets. Anyway, this one is busy. It'll always be busy, but there's nothing backing up. Well, there wasn't a minute ago. Now traffic is back to over here. I did change a few settings in Traffic Manager. I turned on follow priority rules at junctions with timed traffic lights. Going straight may change. I turned on heavy vehicles prefer the outer lanes on highways. I updated the advanced vehicle AI to 40%. Don't know if that makes a whole lot of difference. Yeah, as you can see, it flows. It stops sometimes because, you know, stoplights. But in general, it flows. So this part of the traffic, I'm going to consider it fixed for now. So the next part that we need to focus on is traffic coming into this roundabout.
Few inches later.
It pains me to do this, but I think we might need to remove this roundabout as well. It's a shame because I really like how it looks with the statue in the center and the colored flowers, but you know, there's this crossing which is very close to the roundabout. So I think what we might need to do is we make this an intersection with a timed traffic light as well. Alright, I think I resolved another issue. There was a whole lot of traffic coming in from this side. This interchange here was completely backed up all the way back to the river. This side was backed up almost all the way to the river. This was backed up almost all the way to back here. And that was the main part why there is so much traffic going down here to what used to be a perfectly good roundabout, which is now getting less and less and less as well, as you can see. So that's good. So what I noticed was that what I feared was going to happen, and I checked it a few times, but didn't look like it was going to happen, but now it has. Cars coming from this highway that wanted to go to this highway instead of using the highway and driving around, they would take this highway, drive into the city, straight through, all the way to here, and then go on the highway and get out over here. The same for cars coming from this direction who wanted to go over here. They would drive through the city. So I made part of this road part of an old town district, an old town policy, so only regional cars are allowed on this road, so no more through traffic. That meant, of course, that cars would search another way, so they would still come down here, but instead of going straight on, they would go turn right and then go over here and do the same thing. But now I've added a little ring road, so to speak, which goes all the way from this roundabout to here, so it basically avoids the city, and this is now the fastest way for people who want to go from over here to over here. So most of those cars are now using it. I'm thinking even that we need to not connect it to this part, but connect it to over here. Maybe that would be an idea. Not quite sure yet, but anyway. Alright, yeah, putting down a district with Old Town policy on this part of the city has greatly reduced the traffic coming through here, which leads me to believe that most of the traffic that was coming through here was indeed, traffic that went from one highway to another and didn't actually need to be in the city, which means that traffic inside the city, although still busy over here, basically in the island, traffic is non-existent anymore. This one is busy. Yeah, it's a busy road, of course, lots of cars driving through. This one is busy. What's happening here? Could you not, please? And then, since nobody is going left anyway, just make it a 2-lane. This one is pretty heavily used. Pick your lane on the crossing. Yeah, excellent. So, as I said, busy but not standing still. Same for over here. Busy but no backups. 66%. This one is a little busy now. What's going on over here? You don't have enough time to get out. Maybe what we need to do over here is add a second one to the left. Gives people a little bit more road to utilize. Excellent. So, 65%. Now, I did notice over on this side, ooh, this is starting to become an issue. So what's going on here? What's happening here is that all these cars, they all want to turn left and they all have to wait until there is a gap in the traffic for them to be able to go. So they have a really hard time getting onto the main road. So this would be an excellent example where I would put a timed traffic lights. And there it is, completely gone. And now that there is no longer any traffic backing up, what we can do is we can set the minimum down a little lower again, even lower the maximum a little bit again. Like so, so the other sides don't have to wait that long. And that is that. Bam, back to 73%. Excellent. What is going on here? This is just busy. I don't think we have any backups anymore. This is just busy. What's going on over here? This is a little awkward because of how close these intersections are, I think. Not that important at the moment. We were looking for traffic issues. This one is busy, but not backing up. Busy. This one. Yeah, these are also timed traffic lights on here, so probably just busy. What did it say? 75%. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That is enough traffic fixing for today. So what did we do today? I've been looking at this stupid traffic map for the last 2 or 3 hours now. So it's going to be interesting how I'm going to edit this video. But what we did today is we rebuilt this little community. We extended it all the way down to here. We built this little neighborhood on the peninsula and we fixed a whole lot of traffic. So yeah, not that much in terms of building, but good progress nonetheless. And this is going to be it for today. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.